The fellow PS3 store is going to die. Oh god, panicker here. Any suggestions on PS3 or Vita exclusive fighting games I should grab before it all goes kaput? Darkstalkers Resurrection, maybe? Any good PS2 ports? Long live old consoles. Oh my god, super... I can't. There's too many. There's just too many. If you were to ask me just the Vita, just the PSP, one of these platforms in particular, I'd be like, yeah, there's a couple of things here and there. But all of them, every old PlayStation platform, dude, there's, it's an overwhelming amount, honestly.
So it's PS3, PS Vita that is taken away right now?
How about this? It's easier to think about it the other way. Anything that's not a PS4 or a PS5 is going away.
It's gone.
Digitally.
They don't...
Is the rumor.
They don't have any heart? They don't feel sad about the trove of data that we're gonna be losing?
They don't care. It's not about preservation per se, and it's not about or rather access. It's if they can sell some of those games back to you down the line, then they'll do so. But otherwise, they're looking at server costs and they're looking at what people are buying from it, and they go, yeah, no, fuck it, not worth it. And there goes the ability for many people to experience many games outside of tracking them down physically, which it sucks, but this is where we are.
Yeah.
Nintendo's done it. It's gonna start becoming a thing, and it's gonna, I feel as if it's a blow to the confidence of digital purchases, because we went into the PS4 era not worrying about where PSP and PS2 games were going to be.
Yeah.
But now we're going into the PS5 era worried about PS3 games disappearing. So, as it stands, again, all we can do is just look to it and go well, if there's some other way to play these games, then I suppose that'll just be the way we do it. And I hear PS3 is doing not so bad these days, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that question is too much. Ultimax is the first thing that comes to mind as far as my favorite fighting game that's locked to an old generation.
That's fair.
I would say,
and people still talk about it.
Yeah, Persona 4 Ultimax is probably my favorite, landlocked, or not even, landlocked game. Maybe, and then after that, it's you just got to go into the stuff we've done episodes on, I suppose, right? Go back to the fisticuffs or the grit into fighting games of yore and see what we were popping in and what we were checking out. A lot of those Atlas games, a lot of those Square games. I know Dissidia is going, Persona's going, Danganronpa's going, and you're gonna get versions of PlayStation, Persona 3, for example, is one where you're losing multiple versions of the game because there's 3 versions of that game, all of which are held up in that digital context, and they're all going to go away because they're all on those platforms.
It's a constant struggle, this thing, huh? Always taking away stuff.
Well, it's been a struggle with backwards compatibility going forward on different consoles has always been a fight, and in the end, sometimes they give in, sometimes they don't. Consumers always generally want to feel as if their money has not been wasted on something, so it's smart to support previous purchases and generations and formats. It's something that encourages people to be hey, at least I'm coming onto this new platform with an existing library of stuff I give a shit about. But again, just now, but for the basic purposes of going and downloading new games that you're gonna show, like I said, I'm browsing and showing Punchbomb stuff, that going away, and just and literally for posterity's sake. Posterity means future generations. Right? So, future generations not being able to see or play these games we're describing
sad.
Is very sad, and I mentioned it before, but David Jaffe would say that like, well, game preservation doesn't mean you have access to it. It means its data is preserved somewhere. Just because you can't play it doesn't mean it's not preserved. It's like, fair enough, then let's talk about access. It sucks that people don't have access to games that are digital that have no reason to be like inaccessible. You know, it's an artificial shortage concept. Nintendo selling their Mario game for a couple of months and then being like, oh, and now it's going away. It's like, why? It's a file. It's data. There's no such thing as limited, you know, usage here. There's no reason to pull it down except to create an artificial shortage sense, you know. It's not a fucking non-fungible token. It's a fucking game, like, you know. So I don't think there's a lot to particularly discuss this week in terms of fighting games, except for my favorite fucking meme. And I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick, because there's winners and then there's fucking winners. If I can summarize the way this week went down, it's gonna be, here you go. Thanks to Mr. Fields Wild Ride, who is just a champion, and he brings us this right here: Melty Blood type Lumina, resurrecting from beyond as the Undertaker rises out, and all the games currently playing: Street Fighter 6, KOF 15, Strive, Grand Blue, Tekken 7, MK11, Injustice 3, Smash, that one Dungeon Fighter Online game. Oh my god!
It's back.
Ah! Melty Blood! Can't be stopped, can't be moved, can't be broke. When will you be learned?
It's back. It's back.
Damn.
And with rollback.
With rollback. So here we go, right? With rollback, and I want to say they immediately announced the date, the fact that it has rollback, the release, the platforms, everything you needed to know in one, just like bop 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 bop. There you go. And on top of that, I think people put together that like one of the devs who was asking about GGPO a couple months ago, they were like, oh, so then they're probably working on Unist, right? And it's like, nah, it wasn't for Unist. It was for fucking Melty, bro. Damn.
Well, it's a good first step, you know. Any game that goes like, you know what, we've been testing it out and we're trying to implement rollback, everybody's happy. So if it starts with Melty and it goes to everything else, then so be it. You know?
Now, to be fair, the community figured it out on their own anyways. And if you recall, when we did get into fighting game as Melty Blood, we actually saw that like they went in, took the Steam release of the game, basically modified it to have the arcade version to have a like command prompt boot that then had matchmaking with rollback implemented. So the community made their own rollback version of their game, and they were fine with it, you know. And it wasn't like a pretty UI. It wasn't it wasn't the easiest thing to
it was code
teach people about to get into. You know, it wasn't the most accessible, but it was there. And that looks bad. When you have a game where the fans have created a better netcode system and are using that as opposed to your own, that looks bad, you know? Yeah. And you're also, like, losing out on sales from people that, like, would buy this game, but it's the one I can buy is inferior to the one with the netcode over here that I can just get from my friend, you know? And some people who were like, you know, being real about it were like, okay, we'll buy a copy and then here, take this, and we'll play using the better netcode version, you know? But it's embarrassing to have the unofficial patched fan version of the game be the one that is definitive.
Yeah.
So, you know, this helps a lot for it to come along and be like, okay, so we're putting it in, you know. But also, like, it's a new balanced version of the game, right? New shit's coming, and like we're seeing those screenshots, and it's like, yep, those are the sprites. Same fucking sprites. They're doing it again, you know. I guess the story is gonna continue.
Yeah, you want to go deep into that lore?
I've touched the surface. I've skimmed. Were some of those new sprites? Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. My bad. When I looked at them, I thought they were the same. I thought I was looking at the same sprites, but I guess I wasn't. That's cool. Well, fucking kudos, man. Like, Melty Blood is still existing. Like, the fact that they're putting their time into this as opposed to, like, a big 2D sprite-based Fate game is also wild, because it's like, damn, like, the money's still over here.
This is serious.
Yeah, there's still some money over here. Fate is the biggest fucking thing in the world, and it's their ultimate cash cow. But they're still coming back for Melty, you know? So, good on that. You love to see it. But what about Blitz netcode? Indeed. Indeed. I heard that the game got updated again, and then... Like, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on with Infinite Versus.
Are they fighting?
No. I think it got updated again to make sure that you really can't play it this time. I didn't verify whether or not this is true. Full disclosure, I didn't verify if this is true or not. But I heard that they updated and patched it again. It's not delisted. But they just updated it again with spite to super make sure you can't play it. Because fuck you. I think.
Please don't have too much fun with it.
Yeah.
You have to take it away from you. We're sorry.
Man, I'll tell you what though, dude. That logo, that Blitz netcode logo.
MGM level.
Damn. You're like, we're playing online, let's go, you know? The fancier the logo, the more quality the content is going to be. That's the rule on YouTube, right? That's how it works, right?
You need a whoop, 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 whoop.
You need a tiger roaring. Okay.